Back with the Hamiora Bros.
Kia ora, welcome back everyone.
Subject entering into the feet, or the Wai Wais. So I'm going to let Fraser take the lead on these.
Yes, bro.
Then
So
we'll
you're taking your socks off.
Taking my socks and shoes off for this.
Yeah.
So we want to touch on how maybe we think that the overuse of shoes in society. Symptoms of the modern social construct.
Yeah.
We wear, people wear suits and bloody shoes daily. Reconnecting with the feet.
This topic's going to overlap with a lot of things.
Absolutely.
In terms of connective tissue, breathing.
Yeah. Well-being for our kids, ensuring that they get to let their feet. The transmission of issues or disruption with our feet and how they can carry out the rest of our body. Stability. Even athletic performance, balance. Yeah, cool. So
overall awareness.
Yeah. So where shall we start, brother? Because this is a big part of Fraser's interest and work. So
I guess the first thing to discuss is what shoes have done to the feet over a long period of time, and how the shape of a hand is like this. It's splayed quite wide. We're all mid-20s, 30. If you think, if you strapped and laced your fingers together for 20 years, thumb included, the connective tissue of the body is eventually going to start adhering everything together and sticking it together. Your hand's stuck like this, all of a sudden it's a lot less functional than it otherwise could be. You need to be able to splay and actually use the ability for opposition, getting your thumb to cross over to the pinky, to engage the muscles of your palm and be able to grip something up. Your feet are so much more, like the capacity for our feet, we're completely lost. We have no idea of what they actually can do. And as you start to strengthen by a continuous mobilization of every joint in the foot,
absolutely.
And there's quarter of the bones in the body are in the feet, so there's a lot of stuff going on, and it takes a while to start waking them up. But when you get it, it's fun.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
even just for me, bro, like you boys will be aware of some of my injuries. I had a bone spur, which I can't do much about that. It grew. What can you do about that? I've had that cut out. After that, there's been a little bit of degeneration in a couple of joints in my foot. And then I've also sustained a couple of injuries. So like I cracked one of my bones. And so for me, because I'm very interested in my health, my strength, my fitness, and my mobility, particularly going forward. So I've been doing some interesting stuff with my feet to strengthen them. And even I've noticed over a short time, little exercises and becoming more aware with my feet. And I know I need to, because I've had significant injuries over the past 2 years.
I guess you got to remember that it's all part of a system. It's not just the feet working by themselves. The musculature in the arch of the foot is connected to the musculature of your hip stabilizers. So as you learn to create more strength in the arch of your foot, you actually start to feel it in your hips. You feel the balance, stability, overall proprioception, awareness everywhere in the body as you wake the feet up. Same thing, it's good to keep cross-correlating with the hands. The stronger your grip strength, the better your contraction, your latissimus, or the muscles in your back.
It's pretty easy to see that in the gym with your hands, because you're always grabbing a bar or say a dumbbell or barbell. But with your feet it is harder to tell directly. Mostly because in a gym you're not allowed to take your shoes off, or most gyms.
Which is kind of ironic, isn't it?
You're losing all
we
the
know that
strength.
it's OSH rules, but in terms of the practical mind in me, and from a strength training perspective, I'm more inclined to encourage bare feet, barefoot training.
Well, you're losing so much potential power.
Absolutely.
When you plant your feet into the ground in a squat, if you can build that torque up in your feet, you can generate so much power on the way up. It's like you've
force transmission, eh?
It's
like how much force you're applying into the ground with your feet.
More awareness of stabilizing the ankles. Balance of foot contact. Absolutely. But anyway, we wear, your shoes are not adding to the intelligence of your feet. I think we're also kind of inclined to, I'm pretty anti-podiatry in many ways. I'm not saying that they serve no purpose, but I think that they are making a lot of money putting insoles into people's shoes without actually solving the issues. So it's kind of like pharmaceuticals or
quick fix.
yeah, it's a quick fix. It's not actually. It's not going to make your feet better. You're not going to learn how to use your feet.
It'll give you 3 to 6 months of covering,
removing a little bit of pain
until you got the next one.
Something else will start hurting.
That's right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. It's not wrong to try and remove pain from your life, but if you are going to go to the lengths of, say, taking a drug or going to the podiatrist, you want to be reintegrating yourself. Yeah, short term. Yeah. Take away the pain so then you can relearn how you should be operating.
The only time I would agree with the podiatrist prescribing orthotics would be if they're giving them 5 exercises to mobilise and strengthen the muscles in the feet.
Should be
to eventually get out of the orthotics.
Yeah, what's the recovery plan, right?
Yeah.
It's like there should be a foot physio.
Okay, we're going to give you these crutches.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're going to use them for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, your legs are now going to atrophy, but that's just the way things are.
Yeah.
And
crutches.
Get used to
Good
it.
luck.
Let's look back to ancient wisdom as well. Like, in what logical, like, ancient or indigenous culture, where there were, fit and strong and able people, were they wearing shoes? I'm inclined to think that there were ceremonial purposes to them, but from a athletic or hunter-gatherer in a well-being perspective, I'm inclined to think they did not. Your feet are incredibly strong. Think back to when you were a kid and you could step on those sharp-ass rocks. Your feet, the skin of your feet are very strong.
Yeah.
Your feet can get very strong.
Yeah.
We also, as a society, we're all bigger, so our feet are having to carry a lot more weight than they might have, even only as little as 30 years ago. So, the average human, even a very fit, strong, larger adult male might peak at 85 to 90 kilos, whereas we're looking far above that these days. So the stresses, but our feet can adapt. Our feet can be very strong. Our feet were our shoes. Our feet got very strong. They were our shoes.
And it doesn't take as long as you would imagine. Like,
it doesn't. That's correct.
You've been wearing shoes for 20 years, so you think, it's going to take a while to get the strength back. Like, sure, you're going to have to put the work in, but within 3 to 6 months, you start feeling things wake up.
Correct.
It's almost as if, like, it's a match. If you can ignite the foundation of your body, the muscles in the feet fire up all the musculature and the deep calf all the way into the deep front line or the deep core of the body. There's so much more to it.
Absolutely.
You only need a few exercises to start doing. Like, even it's as simple as trying to get the big toe, which is very similar to the thumb, to 4 toes flex down, big toe pulls up, vice versa, and then you're starting to wave the toe. You think how the ankle moves with the feet, getting the same thing covered,
Even at a minimum, start by exposing yourself to more time in bare feet. Just it really starts as that simple.
Get some grounding,
Yeah, go bare feet.
Maybe start inside the house, then do the grounding outside, and then move from there.
Even if you have the luxury of a job where a tie or dress code is not really a thing, then just don't put those shoes on, man. Minimise those shoes. Keep them for the ceremonial purposes, for presentation. People with lower back, hip, or knee, or even ankle issues, please just. Really, it starts at that barefoot work. If you're seeing a podiatrist, start with the barefoot work. We're talking
If you've got any problem,
yeah,
it's going to help.
That's right, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely.
I dropped a car on my knee when I was 19, and that twisted my ankle. It was pretty severely swollen. I had to have crutches for a while, and even without going barefoot, I know that would help a lot.
Yes.
I've just been rolling out my foot with a hard ball, and that's helped heaps. Like, I was in pain for probably about 3 years in that ankle, and I was losing strength in that leg. The entire leg was way weaker than my right leg. And rolling it out, it allowed me to gain some strength back in my foot. My ankle wasn't as in pain. And then, I can imagine how much better it would have been if I'd actually
Yeah.
Got some bare foot on the ground,
Yeah.
got some strength back.
Yeah, it's cool to think of strength and mobility being one and the same.
Yeah.
You know, we've lost so much strength and mobility from the feet being kind of encapsulated in this rubber and lace prison known as shoes. As you start to mobilize it and get the full range of motion out of the joints, it then gives you the opportunity to create strength in that range of motion. And then it just keeps strength, mobility, strength, mobility, strength, mobility, like a helix.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Hold that one. You might be able to use that.
There's 3 meat plants floating in the wind, man.
Just the balance, my bro.
I was going to say, before we finish, the plantar fascia. So it's the spring mechanism in the base of the foot that any athlete's going to have pretty good tone in, especially any jumping athlete. As you learn to flex the toes back and get more and more range with the toes flexing back, it creates more and more tension in the plantar fascia. That plantar fascia keeps your ankle joint in a stable position, and it also helps to align your ankle, knee, and hip. So it leads on to strength training, overall athletic capacity. It's get this foot moving properly, and it helps.
Absolutely. Alignment is going to allow us to produce more stable force. It's going to be safer on our joints.
Awareness. Well, you just know, you start to feel it.
Yeah. Just a little bit of mindfulness.
So for everyone out there with feet issues, with anything issues, and even just looking
Knee,
for a
hip.
little bit of knee, hip,
Back,
bang on,
neck.
Essentially, everyone's just
spine, absolutely.
It's posture, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yes,
you've got the stub of a foot that can be woken up,
yes.
you know, and
I'm going to try and make more of an effort to. I already have, like I've made changes or adjustments to my life already, where you'll catch me walking around the gym barefoot. I don't care. I train barefoot. I kind of have always done a bit of training barefoot. Even the sensory deprivation from our sock to our barefoot, there's a little change there. Just go full barefoot, and particularly for the parents or for the parents or the grandparents out there, for the mokos, for the tamariki, even for your babies. Let them go barefoot. Really, it's going to help their development. It's going to help their health, physical health. Yeah. So we're here talking about the feet for the longevity of our tinana. Yeah.
It'll be much better at moving, and even at sport in the long run. Something is
Yeah, for all of you fellas out there, all 5% of our demographic that may be athletes, if you're looking to become the best physical version of yourself, how we produce force and from the ground. So the more intelligent your feet, the better athlete you will become.
yeah.
So if you're serious about that, get those damn shoes off.
Yeah. Look at some of the best
Forget the
athletes,
Reeboks, man. They ain't doing anything.
the martial artists, the gymnastics, the dancers.
People taking movement to an extreme, right? Absolutely.
I saw a picture of like this Greek wrestler, and he just had like a massive atlas ball on his shoulder. He's trying to lift up, but you could see his foot was like fully flexed on the ground, and his big toe was almost splaying out like a thumb would, almost gripping into the ground to try and stand up. It'd be good if I could find a good cheers.
Yeah. We also have science to back this up. There's a small amount of research coming out. That awesome article that I read of Fraser's. We intuitively knew these things, but there is now there's also now science to back up the improvement in like mobility and stability for people just from improving feet strength.
Yeah, you can look up the Barefoot Collective. There's a lot of different people on Instagram or around social media.
Yeah.
Everyone's starting to talk about
Become a barefoot warrior. Yeah.
it.
That's our only advice to you. Go back to nature. Become a barefoot warrior. Sure.
Kia ora.